Hello and welcome to our newest update. LOXONE Config App 17.1, including Exosphere, are ready to go. You can download them, and as always, we want to talk about the new features with my colleague Lucas. This config update is all under the topic of AI.
Yeah, the Miniserver can now be used as an MCP server, which means you can integrate the Miniserver into your AI tool of your choosing.
Okay, so there are no restrictions. It doesn't matter which AI tool I use. I can use them with all of them.
Exactly. You insert it in LOXONE Config under network periphery, you insert the MCP server, and then you connect it with your AI tool. Depending on the AI tool, it's always a little bit different, but in the documentation you will find how to connect it.
Important is that the connection is local, so then it will work, and then you can use your AI tool for example, let's say.
Also an easy task like turn on the light in the kitchen. The MCP server always uses Miniserver login, so it only can do the things that you give him rights to the user, and yeah, you can, besides that, do kind of everything you can also do in the app.
The next thing which is new in the LOXONE config is the FIAS-plugin. What's behind that? We are switching now to our LOXONE Campus Miniserver because it's important for all hotels, apartments, whatever.
Yeah. FIAS is a standardized protocol which the Miniserver can use to communicate with property management systems. So like we use here in our hotel, we can get the status of rooms. Is a guest checked in, or also when will a guest arrive, or did he just arrive, did he just check in at the reception? In that case, for example, we can cool down or heat up the room.
But beside these two plugins, there are also improvements inside of the config itself. So as you could expect it, a lot of bug fixes, more stability for the LOXONE config, and also a new way to arrange the rooms in a building.
Yeah, for example, if you have a large home or multiple buildings equipped with LOXONE, you may have many rooms, and you might have lost the overview over your rooms. And now you can group them together. You can group them into buildings, into floors, or whatever you like. You can do this in LOXONE Config under the Rooms and Categories dialog you already know of. You can now create groups and add rooms into that group.
Yeah, so
for example, let's create the first floor, add 2 rooms, and then afterwards save into the Miniserver. And in the app, we will now see that the app will show the structure we have defined. We have here the first floor and inside the 2 rooms.
2 other plugins are also new for the LOXONE Config 17.1. The first thing is BMW car data. What's behind that, Lucas?
You can now connect your BMW cars. You can integrate them into your logic, for example, get the state of charge of your car or also the range you currently have. You can do this by adding the plugin on the network periphery. Then you have to get your client ID from the BMW app and log in into the app, but also enter the VIN ID of your vehicle. And afterwards you can get the status of your car.
Yeah, and then you can use that for even finer energy management. You can see here the data is coming, and you can use that for your automations as you want. Nice plugin now coming from the big vehicles going to the little ones, because as you know, you could integrate a lawn mower until now for Husqvarna or Gardena, but there is another one with this config.
Yeah, and that's Segway Navimo. You can integrate it the same way as other mowers. You add it on the network periphery, the plugin, log in with your Segway account, and then you can discover your mower and control it. For example, send it to the docking station when the irrigation starts, or whatever you can think of.
Switching to the LOXONE app, there are also a lot of improvements, and the biggest one is LOXONE Radio, a totally new feature. What's behind LOXONE Radio?
Yeah, LOXONE Radio are our own radio stations without ads and completely free. And you can also use them in your commercial installation. You You can find them directly in the audio player, and you have different genres, for example, best of 80s, best of 90s, or also classical music if you like.
Also, there is a lot of bug fixes and more stability also in the LOXONE app. So if you switch between rooms, if you go to function blocks, it's much faster. You will recognize it the first moment when you use it. So have a lot of fun with the LOXONE app, using it in future too. The last thing for today's update is Exosphere. And the first thing you see here, Lucas, is we have a new theme here.
Yeah, we now have a dark mode in Exosphere, but you can also switch back to the light mode here in the menu, or also make it system dependent.
Mm-hmm. The next thing beside the theme is the export option, because we are working in Exosphere with a lot of data for big chains, for big buildings, and it's always important to have that maybe exported into Excel. This was, possible via CSV before, but now we have a direct way.
Yeah, you can now directly export to Excel. Here, for example, we have our wallbox data from the campus. We can export it up here directly to Excel, but we can also upload templates. With a template, you can predefine what you do with that data you export. You can create charts, you can create dashboards, whatever you like. You can upload those to Exosphere and then export them regularly or also manually. Click here, export. Let's use our yearly data. Click or select the template we have provided, and then we start the exporting. After exporting, we have downloaded it, and we can see here in Excel, I already pre-downloaded it, have the full data. Here is the data filled by Exosphere, and here we have built some dashboards, some charts, where we can see, for example, when are the people charging, when are they connecting their car, or whatever you like.
And of course, you can automate that, that you will get automatically emails from that monthly report, so you don't have to worry about these things in future with the new Excel export integration. The next thing is notifications. And alarms. It's a very useful thing if you think of heating, cooling, air quality, whatever. What can we do here now?
Yeah, you can now create rules depending on any data you can think of or you receive in Exosphere. For example, here on the LOXONE campus, we created alerts when, for example, the CO2 level gets too high or a bathroom temperature of a hotel room gets too high. It's quite simple. You create a rule. Here you select a function block or a function block set. Let's use CO2. Let's use one of our meeting rooms. I can define the condition when the alert will be triggered, and afterwards I can select who gets alerted via SMS or email.
So that's from our update today. LOXONE Config and App 17.1 and Exosphere are good to go, so I wish you a lot of fun using it. Thanks for tuning in, and if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.